Today, I'm going to take a different approach with Emma Mae Jenkins. What is up, you heathens and demons, you beautiful, blasphemous people? Welcome back to Nakasuchi. I'm the Little Bear, and today we're going to be looking at Emma Mae Jenkins again. And I've been talking about, for about the last month, how I don't really like the way I've went at Emma Mae in the past. And I think that I was wrong in a lot of my criticisms of her and her personally. I shouldn't have went personal, because I don't know her personally. She pushes a very Bible-thumping type mentality on her channel. She pushes a very strict Christianity, because I think she was raised in a very strict Christianity. But I actually really like her personality, and I think that she is a very talented young woman. I think that she could do a lot of good in this world if she wasn't so focused on being a slave to Jesus Christ. But that's my personal opinion. So from now on, moving forward, I'm not going to try to be so negative with Emma Mae, but just offer some real criticisms and give her some props when she deserves it.
Hey beautiful humans, I'm here with the most stellar dad on the planet, and man, he just loves so well, and he has a heart for God that has blessed me in my walk with the Lord. So we want to share a song with you today, and it's all about who God says you are. Whether it be you telling yourself or the world telling you, we're often hearing a lot of voices that you don't measure up. Voices of insecurity, voices of rejection, voices of fear. And so I just want to encourage you today that the Lord says that you are His.
So finally, we get to meet the father of Emma Mae Jenkins. Now, this dude isn't anything like I had pictured in my head. I expected some clean-cut guy wearing a suit, maybe upper class. And I have to admit that this just totally threw me for a fucking shock. I am shocked that her dad looks like that. I mean, and I'm not saying he looks bad. He looks better than I would have imagined. He looks like a real dude. But this is the guy that indoctrinated his daughter. Now, I'm not going to talk smack against that, really. I am against indoctrinating children. But I also have to start being more empathetic and realizing that he's not doing it out of a place of malice, at least not that I would imagine. I think he honestly thinks that he did the right thing for his daughter, and he raised a really good daughter. Let's be honest. I mean, she's not Paul and Morgan devaluing human beings because they don't follow Jesus Christ. She just talks about Jesus Christ, and I can't really fault her for that. I really wish she would utilize her talents in a different way, but that's just me because I'm an atheist. She's a Christian. I do really think that as talented as she is, that she could really help change the world if she became at least a more moderate Christian. And maybe she will because she's still young. So I don't want to fault the dad because the dad actually seems pretty cool. He did a really good job of raising his daughter. And I'm going to start giving them props for that. Because she could be one of these LGBTQ bashing Christians, but isn't. She does seem to be empathetic. She does seem to be a good person. And I want to commend her for that, and I want to commend him for that.
The Lord says that you are worth dying for. He so loved you that He sent His one and only Son to die for you so that you may, if you believe in Him, live with Him forever. Dwell in His house forever. You are who He says that you are.
You know, these are the things that Emma Mae Jenkins says that I really don't like. She implies that she's a slave to this God. And I don't think that she should be a slave to anything. I think she's too talented to be property of anything, whether it be a future husband or Yahweh. But that's just my personal opinion. As I said, I'm trying to find good Christians that promote a more moderate message. Now, I don't think Emma Mae Jenkins is necessarily moderate, but I think she could be brought to moderation because she isn't out there spewing hate. She is simply telling people something that has been good to her. And I can't really fault her for that anymore. I'm not going to pick on her for that anymore. I'm just not going to do it. And you know, I've showed you before a song that she sang. And you know, even though the content of this song isn't something I really want to get behind, I don't think you can really deny that Emma Mae Jenkins is a very, very talented person. And just imagine if she applied that talent to not only Jesus and not only just Christians, but apply it to all people. She could be something magnificent.
Who am I that the highest king would welcome me? I was lost, but he brought me in. Oh, his love for me. Oh, his love for me.
Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am.
And I just find this to be really beautiful in a lot of ways. You know, I'm not really down with the song and the content, but the song sounds really good. It's a good song. And they sing it really well, but even beyond that, just that father-daughter relationship. You know, you can tell that he loves her and she loves him, and they are exactly on the same page as a family. And I really hope that my daughter is like that. Like we don't ever lose what we have now. And even though I can't agree with the indoctrination, and Emma Mae Jenkins is deeply indoctrinated, I'm not going to lie or pretend that she's not. But I think that it's what we're seeing right here is what makes Emma Mae Jenkins so appealing. And I think that she could be a real force in this world. And I have to commend him for this bond that he has with his daughter.
Realized he has ransomed me, his grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died for me.
Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am.
You know, I find this really moving, and I think that this is what we need. We need to be able to interrelate. We need to be able to compare our lives to theirs. And this relationship between father and daughter really allows me to do that. And I wish that more Christians could see my relations with my daughter. You know, when that Christian vlogger was here, and the way that his wife interacted with my daughter, and they became really, really good friends. I think that they were really able to see me as that human being, not as the raging atheist, not as Nakasuchi, but as that human being, living this life experience, sharing this life experience with them. The only thing that makes us different is this God belief. That is the only thing.
We love you. So Dad, do you have any encouragement or any words that you'd like to share with those sweet humans?
When Emma came home from the hospital, it was one of those moments that we didn't know exactly what to do. We literally sat her on the counter in the car seat and said, what do we do with it? And we had really no idea. And then you start watching others, how they raise their children, and praying that you just do it well.
And here, once again, I can totally empathize with that. I remember when my daughter was born. I remember my fear of not being a good dad. I remember my fear of not knowing how to raise a child. I remember my fears of past mistakes. And while I'll never agree with the indoctrination or the God belief, I can see that they're good people. They don't mean harm or ill intent. That doesn't mean that sometimes they don't cause harm, but they don't mean to. And I think that that's what's important. And I think that if we stop being so angry, if I stop being rage against Emma, well, maybe a dialogue can commence. Maybe she can come a little bit here and I can go a little bit there. And maybe we'd both be better people. I don't expect that to ever happen. But I'm going to try to be a better dude.
And I am a flawed human being, and I deserved a daughter that was unfaithful, that was mischievous, that was dishonest, because that's exactly who I was. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would have a daughter and a son that were loyal and obedient and following after the Father.
Now, I don't really like the whole God theme of that. I don't like the obedience, so to speak. You know, you want your children to mind, but I think he's talking more of obedience to God. But outside of that, again, I have to empathize, because I was a shit kid. I did a lot of bad shit growing up. And if anybody deserved a rotten child, it was me. And I didn't get that. I got a great kid. A kid that loves me and I love her. That doesn't really do much wrong. So I can completely empathize with where he's going, even though I can't go to that God belief. I can't get behind that God belief. I can't get behind that indoctrination. I will always call that out. But again, they only think that they're doing the right thing. There's no malice here.
And Emma is one of those people that loves so well and loves others and has the eyes of Christ to be able to see the hurting and the broken. And as a father, one, I never thought it was possible. And two, I never ever believed that she would be who she is today and being the example that she is to me, and literally raising the bar every day so I have something to even not only look up to, but to be so proud of in every day of our journey.
So here we have rhetoric that I have to kind of push back on. You know, if you truly had the eyes of Christ to see the wrongs in the world, then you would see the wrongs in your church and you would point them out as well. And I would like to see Emma Mae Jenkins do more of that. I'd really like to hear what Emma Mae Jenkins thinks about LGBTQ plus peoples and equality and equal marriage. But I think she might be open to a little bit of discussion. Maybe. I don't know. She might be too scared of that. But maybe if, you know, people like me just didn't constantly attack her, maybe she'd be open to it.
Thank y'all so much for joining us today. I pray that this encourages you. I pray that you remember that you are who the Lord says that you are. And when you begin to see yourself the way God sees you, you can see other people the way he sees other people. So walk in that today. Know that you're loved. Know that you're seen by the Father. And we will see you next time. I love you.
Goodbye.
And here at the end of the video is where we get our communications crossed up, because she speaks in a way encouraging people to be slaves to God and to see people as God sees people, and I have fundamental disagreements with that. But I don't think she really means it in that way, not in the way that I as an atheist would see it. She is simply saying, be nice to people. You know, see people for who they are. But the way she says it, I would find fault with. I'm not going to do that anymore, at least not with her. At least not until she shows me some innate hatreds and biases towards other human beings. Because so far, all I've ever really seen her talk about is Jesus. As always, I'm your boy Nakasuchi. If you like my videos, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell so you can be notified every time I release a new video. Share me on your social media. Comment in the comment section below. I'll see you soon.